Hello everyone, welcome. My name is Roland. Today's program is going to be, as always, about important things. And one of the most important things, of course, is relationships. Because it really is all about relationships, isn't it? If you look carefully, your problems, your the issues that you have in your life, the ones that give you the biggest headaches, the biggest unhappiness, the biggest suffering, are relationships that are not so good. With your dad, for example, beginning with your father, with your mom, with other people, and then with your partner. Okay? Then, of course, relationships with co-workers and our boss and other people, but it has a lot to do, it very much has to do with a relationship with those people close to us, beginning with our father and mother. See? Fathers don't realize how important they are and how much they mess up. See, what could be very simple, what could be just as simple as falling off a log, okay? The easiest thing in the world would be what? To be a good dad. To always be there. To not have any vices. To not be gambling and smoking and drinking or smoking marijuana. Not looking at other ladies. Okay? Going to work. Coming home. Being there. Okay? Now being there physically and also emotionally and spiritually for your family. See, father is like the captain of the ship. He's like the Moses, the David, the Jeremiah of the family, to lead them. And that he could do very easily. Okay? First of all, by realizing a couple of simple, first of all, by realizing a couple of very basic things, which most men don't seem to get. And that is, a man is supposed to give love. See, give love, not get love. If people love him, well, that's nice. If people respect him, that's nice. Okay? If people don't love him, then he loves them. He loves them by not resenting them, by not hating them. See? Loving by not hating. So he doesn't resent his wife, okay, if she's naughty. Say his wife is naughty, okay, rebellious, okay. Now, first of all, that's why he married her. Most men marry women because she's excited. There's something about her that's exciting to him. If she was perfectly prim and proper, very graceful and very noble, see, why, she would intimidate him and make him feel like a naughty schoolboy, and men tend to go for the naughty lady. So there was something in her. Maybe she's probably a nice lady, but there was something in her that's what he went for. So now when you're married, now, men, you can't keep going for that naughty side, which becomes the dark side. Now you have to gently correct that. See, just like with your kids. Kids are what? They're just kids. So they're going to want to eat candy, and they're going to want to buy things. They're going to want to have toys, and they're going to want to be spending too much time playing with their friends instead of being home or doing homework. They're going to see, kids will they will do naughty things. See, that's the way we humans are. We're naughty by nature. It's called concupiscent. It's called being born in sin. See, but the trouble is, most of us go from naughty to nasty. Better to just stay a little bit naughty. So, okay, men, so your wife is a little bit rebellious, maybe, naughty, okay, her father probably wasn't there for her. See, she didn't have a good relationship with her father. There was some kind of distance there, some kind of not good communication. So she went out in the world looking for love, and she found you. So now it's your job to love her. Okay? Not resent her. And the other thing I began to say was, so Dad has to be steadfast. No, we're not going to spend money on that. No, you can't have more candy. No, you can't go out until midnight. See? See? And Dad is very steady. And he sets a good example. He doesn't have vices himself. You can't correct your children. See, if you yourself are overly socializing and sitting around watching ball games and yelling and screaming and drinking beer and eating junk food, see? Or if you're smoking marijuana, if you're standing there with a cigarette in your hand, how can you possibly stand as a contrast to the world? See, the world wants to pull them in the wrong way. A lot of parents, their children, when they're little, they're sweet, they love mommy and daddy, and then eventually something changes. It's not the same little girl, little boy anymore. They get pulled into the world, pulled away, and then things happen. Sometimes they end up in jail, or they end up with the wrong associates, or they're unhappy. See, a lot of bad things happen, and the parent doesn't understand why. Well, see, first of all, you as father, you're supposed to be stronger than the world. See, you set an example. You may have to stand alone. Stand alone, setting a good example. Now the other so you have to realize then that you shouldn't be looking for love from your wife. Like I said, if she respects you, if she loves you, that's good. If she doesn't, so be it. Then just, where would you get your love? It would come from within. Okay? It would come from within, from an invisible source. It would come from your Creator. See, there's a very beautiful picture. I'm sure you've seen it. It's a very famous picture, a painting rather, that depicted a scene that I think has probably really happened in real life. But it's an apocryphal painting, and it's a painting of George Washington. It's a painting of George Washington in his full uniform, his full beautiful uniform, in the forest, among the trees of the forest in winter, with snow on the ground, snow everywhere, and he's on his knees praying to God. See, George Washington stood tall before men, on his knees before the Creator. So that's the way you need to be. Okay? Stand tall in the world. Don't go out looking for love, looking for support. Don't try to win a popularity contest. See, what's right is right. Okay? What's fair is fair. What's just is just. See, so, and you set a good example for other people. You're the leader. You're the captain of the ship. But here's a very important thing. So, you don't look for love from your wife, see? But now look at it very carefully. Suppose you had a change of heart. A change of heart, a change of mind. You somehow found God, somehow. Not the kind where you just go, you go off and say a few things and attend some ceremony somewhere and, study the Bible or something. I mean, you really, 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 okay, found your Creator. And then you would be you start to change for the better. Okay, and from that point on, you wouldn't look for love from her anymore. She could come to you, and you would be kind. See, you would be kind, gracious, have a twinkle in your eye, fun to be around. See, fun to be around. Kind of like John Wayne. Remember John Wayne, the way he was. See? He was no nonsense with the bad guys, but he was kind to good people, and to the ladies, and to the children. Or Ronald Reagan, see? He could be tough with the bad guys, but otherwise he had a marvelous sense of humor and a twinkle in his eye. See? Just feel like you want to be next to him. All right, so that's the way a man is supposed to be. But now look, from the lady's perspective, she's used to you being weak, craving love like a drug addict, craving your sex fix, see? So if you truly found a new way of things, well, you would still be there, always kind, gracious, See, fun to be around, and you would still have your marital relations and so on. But you would no longer crave the love from her anymore. Okay? So at first she might think that you found another woman, accused you of finding another woman or something. Okay? But if it was real, if you really, 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 really had a change of heart, which can happen just like that, it can happen by listening to someone like me. See, and the words penetrate, and you say, yes, I've been weak. I've been a womanizer. I haven't been there for my family, for my wife, for my kids. And regret and sadness over what you see about yourself. See, and then maybe try to get the meditation and the proper meditation, and just have a kind of a turnaround. But anyway, so she might continue to test you to see if it's real. So she figures it's probably a lie. It's another ruse, probably, is what she thinks. Or short-lived, or you want something. You're pretending to be a good guy because you want something, or she thinks you're guilty. See, you're guilty of something. You've been out gambling or something, so now you're acting real nice because you're saying you're going to have be changed because of that. See, well, no, you just simply saw that you weren't the man you needed to be, and so now there's been a change. Okay, so she'll continue to test you and watch you. See? But as the weeks, months, years, decades go by, and you continue, see, in this new way, you're the captain of the ship. See, you are the man of the family, and you have virtues, kindness, courage, long-suffering, patience, wisdom, see, increasingly. And she sees that, see, and she will respect you, okay, maybe come to love you, but for sure she'll respect you. And the other thing is that once she sees that it's a real thing, then she can trust you, because she'll know that because you're no longer craving love, you're not going to be out going to other women or things like that. See, because you don't crave love. You don't need a woman's support anymore. Now you have God's support. See how that works? All right. So now you see, love has two sides. Love has a stern side, a corrective side. See, but then it also has a tender side, a gentle side. Okay. A sweet side, and light-hearted. See, fun to be around. Okay, not mean and rigid, but principled, honorable, virtuous, but with a twinkle in your eye. See? All right. So now you see, men, how you have failed women. Okay. And now you see why a change is in order. Your family would be very happy. Things could change for the better. And some of you now, you messed up. Okay. Some of you are right now in a situation where your wife is unhappy. Okay. She's angry at you. Why is she angry at you? It's not because you squeezed the toothpaste on the wrong side, and not because you leave your socks laying on the floor, and it's not even the money. See, there's always, they fight over money, or they fight over this or that, but the real thing is that she needs you to be more fatherly. See, remember I said most women, her father wasn't there for her. See, even if he was a decent, some ladies, her father was gone. There was a divorce, or she doesn't know who her father was. For many ladies, the father was there, dad was there, and he was maybe a decent guy, but something was missing. Okay, it was that other worldly quality that comes from a real connection with the Creator, you see? Okay, so now she needs you to be more fatherly. So as you get older, See, you get married, you enjoy each other, you know, in the springtime of your marriage, and you have children. But as the years go by, see, um, that is no longer a factor anymore, having children. So now you can gradually and with grace, see, become more fatherly. Begin to lay aside the things of youth and to become more substantial, more stable, um, so everybody can respect Father and rally around Father, the good Father. Okay? She needs to be more fatherly. Okay? Now, chances are too that no one has ever corrected her with love from her not. Just like kids. See, a lot of kids. You know that there are spoiled kids. Sometimes I see a child that's a little bit spoiled, and I can see. Well, like the other day, we were in the restaurant, and there was a little child there, and a little boy, and he was kind of acting. He was putting on a show for everybody. See, there was other people there, not just mom and dad, but I think some probably aunt and uncle, and different. There was more than just mom and dad. So he was putting on a show, and he was, I don't know how to describe it. It was almost like he was tongue in cheek, pretending to not like this or that sort of thing. But I could see that it was very lighthearted and sweet, and he just needed someone to have a light touch, not to take what he said seriously and become angry at him, not to give him a hard time, but just to hear what he said and say, well, I don't know, I don't think that would be good. Let me ask these people, do you think that it would be good if you had a whole pie? See? And then people would say, no, so I don't think you should have a whole pie. See? Just make it into a game. Lighthearted. Okay, but what happened was everybody gave him mean looks, and then mommy came and she grabbed him harshly by the shoulders and pushed him into a chair, sat him down harshly, and he began to cry. Luckily his dad then picked him up, and that was good. But see, I saw ahead. I knew what was going to happen. I knew that he needed a little bit of attention and delicate correction along the way, and everything would have been fine. But instead, everybody let him go, and then suddenly they turned on him and were harsh, unnecessarily harsh. Okay, so you men with your children, okay, you've got to you need wisdom. You can't learn it in a book. See, you need just-in-time wisdom, just the right touch in the moment, in that delicate moment. You have to see the measure of how to respond. See, and the only way you can is by getting as close to your Creator as you can, maybe with the help of the meditation, so that you can not be caught up in things emotionally, and not so selfishly caught up in things. Instead, you can stand back, and then you can see what's happening, and then respond appropriately. Okay? There's not enough books in the world to teach you how to deal with every little moment. You need just-in-time guidance from your Creator. Okay? God's light. Well, men, I hope you've enjoyed this. I just scratched the surface. Just scratched the surface. If you have an interest in this topic, okay, then my book, The Myths and Mysteries of Marriage, is really the first one. You should get that book, The Myths and Mysteries of Marriage. Okay. Then I have another book which is called Putting the Forever Back in Love, which is more concepts, maybe some advanced ones, and maybe for people who've been married for a long time, and then issues arise. Like they've been married 20 years, and then wife says we have nothing in common. That sort of thing. But Putting the Forever Back in Love, almost half of the book is devoted to parenting. So for just a basic man-woman relationship, I think The Myths and Mysteries of Marriage would be your first choice. And then for parent, if you're missing the boat somehow with your kids. Oh, the other thing I wanted to mention. See, so if you're in a situation now where things are not so good, you get the book, get my book, read my articles, watch my videos, get an idea what's required of the husband. Stand back, okay, learn not to be resentful, etc. Okay, so now you get disabused of some wrong ideas about what love is all about and what marriage is about and so on. And you people think men think that marriage is for getting your needs met and so on. No, not at all. Okay. Um, okay. Now some of you are in a second marriage, okay, or a third, and it's not going so good. Okay, so then once again, all you need, get my books and learn, do back to basic training so you can see what's going on. Then the other problem is that sometimes men in the second marriage, see, men think that being nice, being wimpy nice, being a people pleaser, being popular, going along to get along, they think that's what their wives want and their kids want. No. Okay? They want dad. Sometimes they want dad to say no. Okay? They want dad to stand for something. Okay? But with a twinkle in your eye. Okay? So sometimes in the second or third marriage, the man makes the mistake of trying to be too nice. In his first marriage, they argued all the time. He was angry when he was younger. He was angry, and that's not good either, of course. But I'm just saying now, maybe he's trying to be too nice, so he becomes a doormat. Everybody walks all over him, nobody respects him, and they're all suffering because they need him to be, like I said, to stand for something and to be more fatherly. Okay. Now some of you messed up before. Some of you are separated from your wife and kids, and there's hope of reconciliation. That'd be beautiful with your wife. That would be beautiful. Or your kids are angry at you, see, because you weren't there for them. So now you do need to read my books, watch some of my YouTube videos. I have some good ones on how to forgive and forget, and I forget all the different topics, but they're very good. So now if you messed up before and your kids are angry at you because you messed up and you weren't there for them, then they have some things that they want to tell you, and so you're going to have to let them. Now they may not want to have anything to do with you. You can't force yourself upon them. You can write them a letter, if they respond, that's nice. If they don't want to have anything to do with you, then you just have to leave them alone and go about your life. Okay? Okay? You have to give them that freedom. Don't run after them and pressure them. Okay? But if there's a little opening, and they're willing to just talk to you, or to see you, then they will have some things that they're going to tell you about how you weren't there for them, see, and so on. And you're going to have to just bear the pain of hearing it and don't argue with them, see, because undoubtedly what they're going to be saying is true. Okay. Alright, well, I hope you enjoyed this video. Get some of my books and so on, and do a little basic training and find out what see, you're not going to get you're not going to get answers out in society from the experts, the counselors, the book writers, Yes, on Christian radio, Family Life Today and Focus on the Family, and Dr. James Dobson, his program now, and there's some good stuff there. There's no question about it. And I think some of it is really excellent for premarital. See, I haven't talked about that in this video. I don't have time. But for premarital counseling and preparing for marriage and so on, I think some of their things are just outstanding. They really are. And then for marriage, they're okay. They're okay. but they don't really quite say it as clearly and directly as I say it. Okay. Um, when I say it, you can see it. Okay, it's it's decisive. So you do need to hear what I have to say and read my books and that sort of thing. Okay. All right. My name is Roland.